ladies, this is a video for the Afterthought pocket that we're doing on our project here. Alright, so this is my finished pocket. I finished one last night. I have the ribbing on and I've sewn the edges in here. Okay, and this is where my first lifeline was, closest to the hem. And if you open it up here, it's harder to see on my color, but this was where the lifeline was, the second lifeline, and the hole now is where the waste yarn is. So I'll show you on the other side, but I wanted to show you the finished pocket and the inside here. So I did a pocket pouch. See how I have a pouch? It's kind of hard to tell. It's a little, looks a little close still. So I have a pouch that my hand actually is separate from the sweater, and I'll take some pictures. You can see that a little better. Okay, it's kind of close, zoomed in for hand purposes for viewing, but this is the pouch that I knit, and it's actually knit here. There, push it through so you can see it. So it's knit in the round. It's picked up on your lifeline at the bottom and your lifeline at the top, and knit in around in stockinette. And then I I turned it wrong side into the pocket space of the sweater, and then I did a 3 needle bind off. So it was a tube, and then I just did a 3 needle bind off to the inside, and I have not attached it to the sweater. I don't think it needs to be attached, but you could tack it in. Could tack it down if you want to. Okay, and tack it down here in the corners if you needed to or felt like it, and be just fine. But I wore it all day today, or most of the day, and had my hand in my pocket, and it's lovely. It's 5 inches deep to the bottom, and then the ribbing adds another like a inch and a quarter. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this over to the other pocket and show you how I did it. Okay, so here we are. This is my first lifeline that was placed in, and that's closest to the ribbing, so the bottom of the sweater. And then the waste yarn is the pink, and the blue up here is my second lifeline. Okay, so what I did is I took my ribbing 5 size needles, and I have run my ribbing size needle through each stitch that's on the lifeline, and you want to make sure you pick up every single stitch that is in there. 41, no matter what size you're doing, you have 41 stitches. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if you're not sure, pull on that blue cord. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, come on, and keep splitting it here. I'll fix it when it's on my needle. 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30. I'm almost there. 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. And the last one I need to pull up on my waste yarn, 41 stitches. All right, so your bottom lifeline has your ribbing cord on it. Okay, so this is going to be done after we do the pocket pouch. So if I were you, because I didn't do this on my first pocket and I used it a few times by mistake, I would put these on end caps, leave your cord in there, put end caps on, take your needles off so you're not tempted to use it for the next step. All right, so the next part we're going to set up for our pouch. So this same thing, okay, we're going to take, in this one here, I went down 2 sizes from my ribbing. So my sweater's a 7, my ribbing's a 5, and my pocket's a 3. So US 3. And I'm going to magic loop it. So I'm on a 22-inch cord, 32-inch length here, okay, on my 3s. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go back through what I just went through with my 5s. I'm going to go in the same place and pick up the 41 stitches. Then I'm also going to pick up, so I'm going to go this way again on this bottom here, and then I'm going to pick up the 41 stitches here on this top one, and we're going to leave the pink one out of it for the moment. Okay, the pink one's the last step. So once again, 41 stitches, and it's a little easier this time usually because you've already went through the path and made way for them, but you still want to count them. Four, 6, 8, 30. 40 stitches on my 3s. And now I'm going to turn this and pick up this 41 stitches on this side, is on the top one as well. So we'll zoom in a little. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This one's a little harder because you have cables that you've twisted right above that row. So just make sure you get all of them on there. 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 41. Right on the mark. And that one's hiding a little bit. That one gets the most tension, so it kind of shrinks in there. All right, so I have 82 stitches on my 3s. And then I have the 41 bottom stitches on my 5s. All right, so I'm going to turn this back around And I'm going to show you the first round of what you're going to do. And we'll also pull the lifeline. You're not going to pull this lifeline as soon as I do. Make sure you go around a few times before you pull this, but I want you to see how it comes out. Okay, it really comes out pretty easy. So, yeah. So we're going to make sure you got your 3s and not your 5s if you've left your needles on. Okay, I'm going to magic loop around. So. And they're so close, right? You can't really tell. All right, so I'm going to attach my yarn at this point, and I'm going to knit my pocket pouch. It's a pouch. It's not a flap. So in the pattern, she has you do a flap. You can do a flap, and that's just you're only gonna pick up on the upper lifeline, and you're going to knit back and forth on those 41 stitches until you get to the 5-inch flap or whatever. I did 5 inches for my pouch. I really like that. It went just past the ribbing on the inside. Okay, so, but you can do whatever length you want. I'm going to leave a tail, right, for stitching. You might have a little hole here because you have that waste yarn in there creating a space, but no big deal. So leave a tail long enough to weave in if you need to. All right. Am I pulling on the wrong needle? I very well may be. Yes, I am. I'm pulling on my 5s. See, I did it again to myself. So yeah, put your needles on hold. The bigger needles that you're not using. Now you're just going to knit all the way around 82 stitches. Okay, and this row is going to be a little tight here because you have a needle and an extra cord in here. You have stitches that have been on hold on a piece of skinny yarn. So this first round is a little harder, but I hope you can tell what I'm doing. I am just knitting these 82 stitches in the round. So when I get back around to the beginning, I will have one round, and then I'm going to keep working in the round until I get to my 4 or 5 inches, however deep you're going to want your pocket. Okay, just know that the ribbing's only going to add about an inch and a half to the depth of your pocket, and so you're going to want to make sure that your hand, and the nice thing about the pouch is you're going to be able to put your hand in the pouch and try it out. Make sure your hand, your phone, whatever you're trying to fit in there is going to fit in there, okay? And so it may seem also like I'm knitting the pocket backwards, but doing stockinette with it out like this, when you push it into the sweater, you're going to have a nice smooth stockinette pocket and not the purl side. It's not going to really matter, but why would you want to purl every single round? To have the purl on the inside and the knit on the outside of your pocket that no one's going to hardly ever see. Once in a great while, the wind will blow you right? And it will reveal your pocket pouch. But for the most part, okay, no one's going to see your pocket. I'd rather have a stockinette pocket, have a nice smooth interior of my pocket when my hands are in there, nice and cozy. All right, so I've knit across the bottom lifeline the 41 stitches, and now I'm just going to turn and continue working in the round on the bottom and make sure I'm using my 3s and not my 5s. don't have my stoppers here. Push my 3s through. Alright, magic loop it. And like I said, this first round is always the hardest. So just suffer through it a little bit, and then it'll get easier. It will also get easier. So after you do about 5 rounds, you can unzip. And I'm going to show you after this next round, my unzipping, because I know I got all my stitches, and it's not a big deal. I've done it once on this already, right? And so, hopefully I'm not overconfident. I've counted my stitches, making sure that all my stitches are coming from my lifeline. And I'm fixing them if I split them. Sorry if you can't see. It's hard to knit over a table. Okay. So we're almost there. Knit, knit, knit. So this pocket is 100% knit unless you do a flap. And I really like the dense feel of the pocket. It's not like cardboard, but it gives it, you know, going down 2 more needles on your pocket really gives you a lot of structure and strength. So you feel okay putting, nothing's going to fall through your pocket, okay? You're not going to have a loose fabric. And so, yeah. If you can hear my stomach growling, it means it's dinner time. It's not a thunderstorm outside. And I'm also knitting through the back loop if I need to, right? So if my stitches are twisted from being on the lifeline, I just knit them as they need to be knit. And this one, like I said, was a cable round right after the lifelines went in, so, or within the next 2 rows, so it is a little twisted here. And so some of your stitches are going whichever way they are. Just fix them as you come along. Come to them. Here's that one. It's fine. This one. If they're too tight, doing them one way, do them the other way. No one's going to see these stitches. They're all going to be in the inside of your pocket. All right, so I have knit all the way around. I've knit the bottom, which is up here, and then I knit all the way around. So I'm going to continue to do this oval. You can use a small circular if you don't want to magic loop it, however you feel. Okay, so after you do about 5 rounds, you're going to take your waste yarn out. Sorry, couldn't think of it. All right, and I typically use the end of a needle. Let me see here if I have a little tool to pick at it. I don't, but I have some little scissors. So I recommend having some scissors next to you because at some point the yarn that you're pulling out is going to get so tangled it will be almost impossible to get out. All right, so we're going to start at one end here, and you're just going to lift that pink. Lift it out. You're going to pick it out. We're picking out the stitches. And since my tail is so long, I'm going to cut it short right now because it just gets snarled and yucky. So every time that the yarn gets a little long, you can just snip it. It makes it easier to unravel it quicker. So this is all coming out when you know your stitches are secure, okay? Don't take them out until you know. But if you're not falling apart within, you know, that first, make sure you have your stitch count, right? If you're not sure, bring it in and get help, right? And we're creating our hole for our pocket. And everything's been secured by picking up every single stitch from your lifeline. Right? If you're not sure, come get help. Alright, little snippers. Alright, there we go. Guess I wasn't at the right pressure point for those. Alright, pick. Picking it all the way across. All 41 stitches that we knit with on this waist yarn. Alright, when it gets too long and in the way, snip it. That's a good thing about using a contrast yarn. You don't have to be scared about cutting something because it doesn't look anything like your main yarn. Alright, we're almost done. And I will get some photos. I'll get some photos that aren't so close up on this here of how it looks right after you, right at this point. So I'll get some good photos of this pocket here at this point. And then I'll also get some photos. I'll take some photos of the finished pocket. It's a hard color. My sweater is dark, so it's a hard color to see a lot of detail. And I thought about doing a sample swatch, but this needed to get done anyway, so. But I really do like the pouch a lot better than just the flap. The way it's independent from your sweater fabric. So you're not going to snag anything. So really, to me, it's protecting the outside of your sweater. So if you look at it like that, the pouch is worth the extra, knitting time, just so whatever you're putting in your pocket isn't going to snag your sweater. So for that benefit alone, I recommend doing the pouch instead of the flap. Okay? So personal opinion, need some little sharpeners for my scissors. These are going in the garbage. All right. And the last bit of my yarn is over here. Sorry. Free. All right. So also, this is the time that you can remove your lifelines. You don't have to at this point. If you're unsure, make sure you go through and check your lifelines again and make sure you got every single one picked up, and then you can just pull these out. Unless you've split your lifeline when you're picking up stitches, okay? So if that happens, just give it a little snip where it's stuck and they will pull out just fine. Same thing here. I'm going to pull this one out. No big deal. And I am free of lifeline, and I have a hole in my sweater. See? Got a hole in my sweater where my pocket will be. All right, ladies. Post if you have any questions. Post pictures if you have something specific about your project so I can see what you're talking about. Or give me a call if you have my number. If not, leave a message in the forum, okay? And I'll get back to check it a couple times tonight and each night. All right, ladies, have fun. Try and get one pocket at least going. So on Tuesday we can see where you're at and give you help if we need to. So take a break from your sweater, even if you're not at the pocket part of the pattern, because you can easily do this and go back to your main body afterwards, or your sleeves. All right, we'll see you Tuesday, ladies. Bye.